Morning, Vritika. Good morning, Thomas. Tanushri saw my TikTok. Thank you for watching. All right, I'm going to switch to full screen here for just a moment because it is Friday, May 22nd at 11:31 a.m., which means I'm 1 minute late, but guess what? We're starting Library Live. Hello, everybody. Good to be with you today. Happy you're here on this Friday edition of Library Live. I see those numbers keep climbing. Thank you for being here today. I miss being with you guys. I miss seeing you guys. Happy to connect with you here on Library Live. We've got a lot of stuff going on today. I did not shrink. I'm just in a slightly different setup today, trying out something a little bit new. See if I can manage video and PowerPoint slides and all that a little bit easier from a new spot today. So let's get started. There we go. Rules and expectations. I want to talk about being kind for just a second. I had to call out a couple people last week. I had to send some comments last week because of spamming the comments. Guys, when you send the same thing 500 times, or literally just keep on posting it and sending it, so it makes it more likely that I'm going to see it. It makes it more likely that I'm going to see it, but also is really distracting to me. And especially for like the Mad Libs, if you just send me dog, 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 you know what I'm not going to choose? Dog. So be respectful with that. That's tough for me to get through. It's also just really distracting. So no spamming the comments this week, please. Thank you. And that's going to make it easy for us to have fun. Let's be patient with technology issues. Even without spamming the comments, it's tough for me to get through all of the comments and questions. So I'm not going to answer all of them just because I probably will not see it, but I will go back and read it at the end of Library Live today. There's a 10 to 20 second delay, keep that in mind, and opportunities for screenshots are with the yellow camera. Quick reminder about how to access any of the previously recorded Library Lives. If you missed any or you want to go back and see an older book talk, just go into your classroom, go to the More tab, tap Special Area 3.5 videos, and then that will bring up all the videos from all the special area teachers in all the buildings. So if you don't see the one you're looking for right away, click Next on the bottom, scroll to the next page. They're pretty easy to, mine are pretty easy to find because of that big blue background. Here's what's on our agenda today. We're going to look at what you're reading. We got a lot more submissions for that, so I'll share what you're reading today. Thank you. Keep those coming. I'll do some book talks of my own. We'll get into the winner of May Book Madness. We'll look ahead to the next tournament in May Book Madness that you all voted on and chose. We'll preview this week's Seesaw activity, which I know some of you have already seen. We'll talk about and celebrate our Reading Olympics folks, and that'll take us right into a Reading Olympics themed Mad Lib, along with some catch-up. All right, you know the drill here. These are books that a lot of our KDM friends are reading from kindergarten up through 5th grade. I'll let this scroll through. Every couple seconds, one of those panels will change, and if you see a book that looks interesting to you, go ahead and take a screenshot. We'll get that going now, and I'll also use this time to catch up on the comments. Say hello to anybody I missed. Hey, Will, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Hello, Emily. Chathura, I absolutely watched Stranger Things, one of my favorite shows. Jonathan, what's my favorite Reading Olympics book on this year's list? Probably Arusha, I think. Good morning, Taylor. Thank you. I am having a great day. Hope you are as well. Good morning, Anna. Morning, Joshita. I'm doing well. Good morning, Paula. Ooh, Anna just made a smoothie. What goes into that smoothie, Anna? Bananas? Oh, hysterical. Awesome. Glad you liked that one, Juliana. Book 2 just came out a couple weeks ago, I think. I'm going to share with you in a little bit what I'm reading, Kiritan. I'm going to book talk the book that I am currently reading. Hello, Beezer. Allie asking, what's my favorite type of dog? I had a Lhasa Apso when I was in middle school, named Nittany. Go figure. I also like Boston Terriers, and I really like Huskies. German Shepherds are great too. My landlord, when I used to live in Bridgeport, had a German Shepherd. She was awesome. So there, I've got like 4 favorites. All right. Hello, Jolie. Hello, Jack. Hello, Arian. And I'm going to stop right there on the comments. Thank you to everybody who submitted some what are you reading pictures and book talks this week. Never too late to do that. Keep those coming. I'll share more of those pictures next week if we get enough. On to my book talks. This is a book that I recently finished called Race to the Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. It's one of those Rick Riordan Presents books, so it's not a book that he writes, but it's a book that he highlights because it's a book about a mythology from some culture that he's never written about. Lately, 7th grader Najone Begay has been able to detect monsters, like that man in the fancy suit who was in the bleachers at her basketball game. It turns out he's Mr. Charles, her dad's new boss at the oil and gas company, and he's alarmingly interested in Najone and her brother Mac, their Navajo heritage, and the legend of the hero twins. Najone knows he's a threat, but her father won't believe her. When Dad disappears the next day, leaving behind a message that says, "Run!" the siblings and Najone's best friend Davery are thrust into a rescue mission that can only be accomplished with the help of the Dene Holy People, all disguised as quirky characters. Their aid will come at a price. The kids must pass a series of trials in which it seems like nature itself is out to kill them. If Najone, Mac, and Davery can reach the House of the Sun, they will be outfitted with what they need to defeat the ancient monsters that Mr. Charles has unleashed. But it will take more than weapons for Najone to become the hero she was destined to be. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I didn't think I'd end up recommending this book. It's a little slow to start. It's a little repetitive. And I was about to abandon this book. I got to about halfway when the characters come to this place called Rainbow Road, where those trials really start. And once they get to that part of the story, the action really picks up. There's some really cool scenes and puzzles and sequences. Once they got there, this book was awesome. It was a little slow to start, but this is a good example. I'm pointing this way. I should be pointing this way. This is a good example of how sometimes you need to power through a book when you don't seem like you're going to like it. I have a hard time abandoning a book. Even getting like halfway, and if I don't like it, I'm like, well, I've gone halfway. I might as well finish it. I'm glad I stuck with this one, though. This one. All right, next, this is actually the book that I am currently reading. It's called Song for a Whale. It's been out for about a year, but really, really good. From fixing class computers to repairing old radios, 12-year-old Iris is a tech genius, but she's the only deaf person in her school. So people often treat her like she's not very smart. If you've ever felt like no one was listening to you, then you know how hard that can be. When she learns about Blue 55, a real whale who is unable to speak to the other whales, Iris understands how he must feel, and she has an idea. She should invent a way to sing to him. But he's 3,000 miles away. How will she play her song for him? So Iris is deaf, and she learns of this whale who is a hybrid whale. He's a part blue whale, and I forget what other species of whale. But essentially, he speaks in a tone that the other whales cannot hear, and they speak in a tone that he cannot hear. Really, really cool, especially if you like stories like Fish in a Tree or Wonder, books like that. I highly recommend Song for a Whale. This is what I'm currently reading, and I'm loving it so far. Last week, I talked these 2 books, A Game of Fox and Squirrels and Stand Up, You Meet Chung. If you didn't get to hear those book talks, you can always go back to the recording of last week's Library Live and rewatch them there. All right, on to May Book Madness. This is our final round, our final matchup. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire versus Ada and the War That Saved My Life, with over 100 votes coming in. Harry Potter, with a score of 64 to 49, wins the final round of May Book Madness. Really, really close, closer than I thought it would be. Mrs. Kyler's class may have had something to do with that, but Harry Potter then is officially our May Book Madness champion. Thank you for everyone for voting. There's a final look at the tournament bracket and how everything came to be. Last week, as a part of May Book Madness, I also asked you to vote on the new theme for our next tournament: secondary characters, villains, Harry Potter professors, or series. And here's how the votes fell. Very close again, but series was the winner with 43 votes. Harry Potter professors at 31, villains at 27, and only 11 of you wanted to vote on secondary characters. So let's take a look at our new tournament bracket. Some popular series in there that you have probably read or at least know of. That's why they're a part of this tournament. Let's take a closer look at the matchups. In the green region, we've got Diary of a Wimpy Kid going up against the Whatever After series by Sarah Wojnowski. In the yellow region, we've got I Survive versus the Babysitter's Club, graphic novels. And then in purple region, we've got Percy Jackson and the Olympians versus Dork Diaries. And finally, we've got Wings of Fire versus Dogman in the orange region, peach region, coral region. I'm not sure what color that is. No Harry Potter in this region. I thought we'd give Harry a break, probably because he'd just win and sweep right through the competition. If you want to vote, this link will be posted at 12 o'clock today in Seesaw. You must complete your voting by Thursday, May 28th. All right, I'm going to scroll through the comments really quick to see if I can get caught up here. Brooke, I do not have any pets. Mrs. Salerno has 2 cats, however. Akshara, my favorite animal is a great white shark. I'm getting some love for my TikToks. Thank you. I appreciate it. I posted a couple new ones over the past few days. I post most of them on my Instagram page too. Deshaun Watson or Joe Burrow? Well, since Joe Burrow hasn't played any professional football yet, I've got to go Deshaun Watson. Joe Burrow is unproven talent. Hi, Latifa. Joshita, happy birthday tomorrow. Hello. Ria, hello, Yejwan. Hello, Jillian. Hello, Sadie. Hello, Jane. Hello, Druva. Hi, Claire. Hi, Jayi. Mrs. Dowd is here. She says good morning and happy rainy day. I did not watch Money Heist yet, Venkata, but it is on my Netflix queue. Jane asking why I became a librarian. Oh, Jane, I could spend the entire Library Live answering that question. So I'm actually going to stop there. I'll come back to that question when we get to catch up, I promise you. If I forget, remind me. All right, let's preview our Seesaw activity for this week because I'm really excited for today's announcement, which some of you know about. First of all, the May Book Madness link will post at 12 o'clock, just when we're done Library Live. And House Points is coming back. That's one of the most popular things about library class. One of my favorite things is our House Points. But looking at what we typically earn House Points for, it's kind of hard for me to keep track of this stuff while you're at school or while you're at home. Easy for me to keep track while you're at school, hard when you're at home. And to be perfectly honest, I don't want to keep track of how good of a job you're doing at cleaning up when you're at home. I don't need to know these things. So how can we keep track of House Points while you are at home and I'm at home, we're all at home? Well, other than Library Live, the way that we connect is through Seesaw. So that's what we're going to use. You should probably recognize these 4 Seesaw activities: Poem in Your Pocket, Scranimals Part 2, What Are You Reading, and Research. These are 4 of the most recent Seesaw activities that were assigned in your library Seesaw class. Each of these 4 activities is now worth 1 house point. If you've already done all 4, great. You've earned 4 house points for your team already. If you haven't done them yet, that's okay. You've got time. This week's Seesaw activity is a catch-up week. Not catch-up like we do at the end of Library Live, different kind of catch-up. It's time for you to catch up on any of these activities that you haven't done yet because you forgot, because you didn't want to, or because whatever reason. Because now each of these, and only these 4, are worth house points. On Tuesday night, before my Library Live with kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade, I went through Seesaw and I counted up all the activities done by all the students and all the classes and all the houses, and I totaled them up to get our first house point standings of the 3rd marking period. And here they are. Gryffindor and Hufflepuff out to a lead with 143 points. Ravenclaw at 129, Slytherin at 116. So what this means, I'll use Hufflepuff as the example. There are 143, it means Hufflepuff students have completed 143 seesaw activities. Remember, it's out of those 4 that I showed you. We're going to keep this going up until the very last day of school. The day before the last day of school, I guess. The last day that you can submit seesaw activities and still earn house points for them is Tuesday, June 9th at 4 o'clock. When you go to this week's seesaw activity, there's going to be a video of me explaining everything I just explained, even a little more detail, about 4 minutes long. And then you're going to see a checklist where you can keep track of the 4 activities and whether or not you've done them. Use that, save it to your drafts if you haven't done all 4 activities yet. And then when you have finished all 4 of them, send it on to me. I'll give you a points update next week and the week after that. We're going to announce the House Cup winner on Library Live on Wednesday, June 10th, 2020 at 11:30 a.m. And I know what you're saying already, but we have Library Live on Fridays. We're not going to get to see it. That's not fair. Would you relax? I know you have Library Live on Friday, but Wednesday, June 10th is the last day of school. So what that means is you won't have a Library Live that following Friday. We're going to make this one, a Library Live for all students, kindergarten through 5th grade. It's the last day of school. We're going to bring everybody in. We'll do some fun stuff. And that's also where we will announce the House Cup winner for marking period 3. So if you want to win the House Cup, if you haven't had the chance yet, here it is. All right. Catching up on my comments before we celebrate our Reading Olympics, folks. A lot of football questions today. I'm going to save some of those football questions for catch-up time. Yes, my favorite sport is actually football. Andrew Culbertson recommending Allie Cross. I think that's a James Patterson book. I have not read that. My dog's name was Nittany after the Penn State Nittany Lions. Bobby has a white German Shepherd. I don't know if I've ever seen a white German Shepherd. Emily's Patronus is a Husky. My Patronus is, I think it's a great gray owl. Hello, Nico. Bella, I prefer dogs over cats. Sorry to any cat lovers out there. Rhodesian Ridgebacks getting some love from Riley. Mr. Simpkins was reading that book too. Chatora talking about Song for a Whale. Mr. Simpkins was reading that a couple months ago. She also said it was very good. Mrs. Keating read Song for a Whale to her class. Thank you for sharing that, Arian. Good to know. Part humpback is what Jonathan's saying. So part blue whale, part humpback. That could be correct. And you should finish Song for a Whale. Yes, I will. I definitely will finish Song for a Whale. Almost halfway through it, not quite. A lot of love for the Babysitters Club. A lot of love for a lot of those series. Hello, Mahita. Hello, Zoe. Some folks are making predictions as to who I was in The Masked Singer. Can't tell you yet. You're going to find out today at, 1 o'clock you have music? You'll find out today. All right, Reading Olympics. Let's talk about these folks in this event. Reading Olympics is an event that 4th and 5th graders join from all across Chester County. They read books from this list of 45 books, and they answer trivia questions. Our Reading Olympics teams have been preparing since October. And in April, we found out that Reading Olympics was canceled because of, coronavirus and everything going on in the world. So that was pretty disappointing. The elementary librarians decided that we were going to have our very own virtual Reading Olympics. And we put that together with just students from Great Valley. So all 4 Great Valley schools, we had 12 teams, and all the teams did really well. It was a super fun event. It was a great way to make a good thing out of a bad situation. So I just want to celebrate those 4th and 5th graders who are on our Reading Olympics teams. These are the Speedy Readers. You probably recognize them. If you want to give anybody a shout out or a congratulations in the comments, I think that'd be awesome. I'll try to publish those. These are the Jimmy Johns. I'm wearing the Jimmy John's shirt today. They also did a fantastic job. And finally, our third team, you may not know who they are because they're the anonymous team. Really, really great job by our Reading Olympics teams this year. Here's kind of a look at what the setup looked like. We had 2 teams on 2 different devices. Mr. Ellis and I were 2 of the moderators asking questions about the books. I can't say enough how well our teams did, and I couldn't be happier with how this event went. So 4th graders and 5th graders, congratulations to you. I've already told you how great I think you are. 5th graders, I hope you think about doing Reading Olympics in middle school next year. And current 3rd and 4th graders, I hope you think about joining Reading Olympics at KDM next year. We'll talk about it at the beginning of the year. And that's going to bring us right into a Reading Olympics themed Mad Libs Live. I'm going to do this a little bit differently today. It's really hard for me to keep up with all of the comments coming, and the 10 to 20 second delay makes Mad Libs Live go a little bit longer than I want it to. I love it. It's fun. I know you guys like it too. It takes up a large part of our time though. So here's what we're going to do instead, a little differently today. I'm going to ask you to send me 2 types of words, adjectives and nouns. I'm going to choose 3 adjectives from whatever you send me and 3 nouns from whatever you send me. Once I have those 6 words, once I choose my 3 adjectives and 3 nouns, then I'll start putting the Mad Lib together. I think that'll make this go a little bit more quickly than having like 5 or 6 different categories. All right, so I'm going to scroll through the comments. I promise. I apologize if I'm missing your greetings and good mornings. Some awesome celebrations coming through there for Reading Olympics. I'll publish some of those as well. And I'm waiting for some adjectives and nouns to come in. Some of you are making some pretty good predictions about who I was on The Masked Singer. I'm not going to say who you are. And I'm not going to say what I was. But some of you that have made predictions so far have been correct. Lazy. Oh, lumpy. That's a great word. I'm choosing lumpy and lazy. I've got 2 of my adjectives. I'm going to write them down here too. Lumpy and lazy. Stinky. There we go. We got 3 good adjectives already. Stinky, lumpy, and lazy. Now I need only nouns. Sorry, only nouns. Guitar, dog, John Cena, Justin Bieber, sloth. A lot of people choosing their own names. Give me some nouns. Give me some nouns. Ooh, a llama. I just scrolled by llama. I missed it. All right, we'll put Peppa Pig in there. We'll do a llama. Peppa Pig, llama. I need 1 more noun. Ooh, burrito. Yes, burrito. Great. Food is the way to my heart. All right, let me switch around my screen here so you can't see me typing in the answers. You could just see my beautiful smiling face. Hi. All right. Now you guys got to bear with me for just a few seconds as I type in these different answers. The first adjective we had was lumpy. And the first noun we had was llama. The second adjective we had was lazy. The third noun we had, Peppa Pig. Stop it, autocorrect. I wanted to write Peppa Pig. And the third adjective we had was stinky. This is going to be pretty good. And the final noun we had, burrito. Okay, I like this one. This one's good. They're all good. I like this one a lot. All right, let me bring that back up. Thank you for waiting patiently, everybody. All right. Here we go. Scrolling through the comments to get caught up here. We kind of preview our Mad Lib. Take a screenshot of it if you'd like to. Remember, these were all adjectives and nouns. Here we go. Yesterday was the first ever Great Valley Lumpy Reading Olympics. KDM kids worked, not worded, KDM kids worked as a llama to answer lazy questions about Peppa Pigs they had read. Mr. Salerno and Mr. Ellis asked the questions, and they did a stinky job. Aw. Our KDM Reading Olympians did a great job, and they deserve a round of burritos. If I had a round of burritos to give to you, I would. One more shout out to our Reading Olympics folks. Nice job with what you did on Tuesday. It's 11:56, perfect timing. That brings us right to catch up. I'll scroll back and see if there's any questions that I missed. I'll scroll down and try to get caught up. I think most of the comments that I scrolled past were all recommendations for adjectives and nouns. Why did I become a librarian? So I was a classroom teacher for 8 years. I taught 3rd grade for 2 years, 4th grade for 3 years, and 5th grade for 3 years. And I was just ready for something different. I hadn't planned to become a librarian. I worked with a librarian when I taught at General Wayne for a couple of years who just did really awesome stuff. And she kind of inspired me and showed me what the library could be, rather than just a place for books. So I came back to KDM, and that very same year, Mrs. Cook, who some of you know, none of you remember Mrs. Cook. None of you had Mrs. Cook, because 5th graders, you were my first ever group of kindergartners. So you were my very first kindergarten class when I started in the library. Mrs. Cook, who used to be the librarian, she retired, announced that she was going to retire that year. And I talked to her, I talked to Mrs. Rothberg, who was the librarian at General Wayne. I talked to some colleagues, I talked to Mrs. Salerno, who was not yet Mrs. Salerno. I just thought that the library would be a really fun place to teach. And that's how it happened. It was never a plan. The bees are asking, Eagles or Cowboys, who will win the East? If you're asking me today, I'm going to say Cowboys. Sorry. Some shout outs coming for our Reading Olympics folks. Some folks, Jane moving tomorrow. You move into a different house, staying in Great Valley, hopefully. A lot of predictions about who I am on The Masked Singer. Some of you are right, some of you are wrong. That's all I'm going to say. You'll find out at 1 o'clock today with Mrs. Seaton. Can I play a song on the guitar? I could grab it and do a little, do some little strumming maybe. Druva asking me, Michael Jordan or Shaquille O'Neal? Not even close. Michael Jordan, greatest of all time. This weekend, I'm going to get some reading done, hopefully. Mrs. Salerno and I just got a fire pit, so we're going to sit out by the fire, maybe have some s'mores. Varshita got a birthday coming up on May 25th. Happy early birthday, Varshita. Do I like kayaking? I like kayaking. Mrs. Salerno loves kayaking. I do like books a lot, Jake. I do. Oh, Sadie, I'm jealous. Got a TV for the porch. That's a great thing. TV on the porch is a great time. What is my favorite, Sydney asking, what is my favorite field day theme that we've had at KDM? It's kind of hard to not say Harry Potter. I think Harry Potter. Star Wars was pretty great too, though. But I think Harry Potter had the best games for me. I'm a little biased, though. And if I wrote a book, what would it be about? Pizza. Mutant pizza. How about that, Natalie? Jolie doing some working with some Legos today. I did watch all the Harry Potter movies. The books are better. A lot of predictions asking who I am. Sorry, can't tell you. Hello, Ava. I don't like the Cowboys. I just think they're a better overall team than the Eagles right now. Script to screen. I hope to make an announcement about when script to screen will be released on sometime next week. Still working out those details. The librarian at the middle school is Mrs. Delaney. I'm not going to tell you who I am. Oh, good, Jane. Glad you're still going to be in Great Valley next year. Andrew, your name is not Jeff. Your name is Andrew. My favorite food is pizza. I love all kinds of food, but my favorite food is pizza. Who is going to win, Michael Jordan or Stephen Curry? Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. Period. Sriveda got a birthday coming up on June 13th. I do like potatoes. Potatoes are a very versatile food. Could do a lot of things with potatoes. Seamus, I would say read Moby Dick next. I've got whales on the brain. All right, it is 12 o'clock. So what I'm going to do is take a quick pause from reading the comments. I will continue to read them. If I haven't gotten to you yet, you're welcome to stick around. I love having you around. But just some reminders, you can earn house cut points by completing Poem in Your Pocket, Scranimals, Part 2. Not Part 1, Part 2. What are you reading? And the research activities in Seesaw. Our new Maybook Madness Challenge is characters from popular series. The Kahoot link is on Seesaw. I'm going to send myself full screen here for just a quick second. I don't know if that worked or not. I don't know what that looks like to you. All right, everybody. Again, I miss seeing you. Thank you for being here today. This really is the best part of my week, getting to interact with all of you on Library Live. Let me know if you have any questions about Seesaw, about house points. Otherwise, have a great weekend. I'll see you on the next Library Live.